All right. We are live. How's everybody doing?
Uh-oh.
Oh, you're
We are
muted.
muted.
Yay! We'll fix that. We love the way these things go.
It wouldn't be a proper stream if that didn't happen. Let's be honest. Let's just get it out of the way now.
Better you than me, right? No.
Oh.
Awesome. So thank you all for joining our second stream of the week for the Computer Science Education Week. And we're trying to teach people really like the coding aspects in video games. And that's kind of what we specialize in. We have some really special guests here today. We're going to be doing the latest Minecraft Hour of Code for Minecraft Education Edition. And it's going to be really fun because we're going to be doing block-based coding and Python-based coding. And we have some special guests with us today, the developers that programmed that Hour of Code map from Rewrite Media, Rewrite EDU. So let me introduce you guys. Take a moment to tell us a little bit about yourselves. Jerry Brano.
Hey, how's it going? I'm Jerry. I work at Rewrite Media doing a whole lot of different things, but on this project I did some of the back-end coding.
Awesome. Yeah. Thanks. And Shane, Cold Fusion.
Hi, I'm Shane, or online I know as Cold Fusion, and I also work at Rewrite, and I also worked on some of the mechanics for this map. And yeah, computer science is my jam, so I'm really excited for this.
That's awesome. Yeah. Super cool. Yeah. From what I hear, it is quite your jam. People are always bragging about you, and I've seen a lot of your work online and stuff like that. So it's awesome to have you here. Thank you guys both for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Sure. And of course, we got our boy Gatlin Shadow. What's up, Gatlin?
Not much. Just hanging out this evening, trying to remain unmuted if I can this evening. Let's try it.
Yeah, we'd like you unmuted. We'll take it.
Sweet.
Okay, so before we get started, so a couple of things like we're going to cover in this stream. We're going to cover. We're going to go through the Hour of Code, but we're also going to be talking about coding and things like that. So if you're a teacher and you're trying to inspire students or give students some direction on coding, we're going to try to drop little tidbits in here along the way. We have, a room full of coders here that could kind of share their insights and observations and things that could help give some direction along the way. And one of the things I like to do is like for programmers, especially like, if you're programming with somebody, troubleshooting, you have to be observant. You have to look for problems, anticipate problems, detect patterns. And I like to kind of practice that by doing puzzles and things like that. So we're going to try this time to do one of my favorite kind of puzzles, a Rebus puzzle. And I'll bring up one that is more relevant to the context of our conversation here. So just the instruction for this kind of puzzle, it basically equates to a phrase. So it's a picture, and the picture is organized and drawn in such a way that kind of gives you hints to become a phrase. And this is a Minecraft phrase that's pretty much the cardinal rule. Anybody have a guess on what this is?
I feel like I'm going to get trumped on this one.
No digging down. Mm-hmm. Straight down.
Yeah, right. Don't you see the word dig is intentionally spelled downwards, and of course the old circle with the line through it. Don't do it. And so don't dig down. Never dig down. However you want to translate it. That's the idea of this kind of puzzle. So you could see what's interesting on something like this is that like the way the word was spelled, the font that was used is kind of Minecrafty. And of course, some of the symbolism is the symbols are familiar, like the red circle. So let's just try a different one.
Oh, got it.
See that?
that was quick.
Oh, I don't know about this one.
This is another thing I like. This is why paired programming is so valuable, because when you get two coders sitting next to each other.
Yeah, see, Brian got that one instantly. And I'm still like, what is this? What must...
Yep. So break it down. Look at the first part. And what's interesting about the word what?
What? And it gets narrower.
It
Narrows
gets-
down.
Yeah.
See,
And
I'm
it's
thinking
also-
foreshortening here because I'm the artist. So
Yeah, like so
I'm
that's a cool observation with these puzzles too, is the way people interpret them. Like this puzzle people could really enjoy it, people could really be stressed out about it, and so it's not like, hey, everybody has to do this, but it's an interesting thing. So the word "what" is going upwards.
Oh, what must come? What goes up must come down.
Right.
There we go.
Nice.
Good one.
So let's see what this is the story of our lives here, and this
Yep.
is kind of anyone that's in the US or people that drive on the this would be, well, yeah.
So my question is, because I've already got this, is everybody got to figure it out before I start saying something?
Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. So if this is true, are we teaching self-driving cars this as well? That lane is actually the fast lane?
That's an interesting observation, because like in some of the work I've done with people that work on autonomous vehicles, what's really cool about it is that the density at which autonomous vehicles can drive is such that the roads will almost be, the amount of roads will be useless, because they'll be able to be so tightly packed in the road with density of vehicles that you won't need as many lanes and things like that. And
They'll all be fast lanes.
They'll all be fast lanes.
Okay.
They'll basically be the exit. There's this one dude that used to talk to us about these some of the Google autonomous vehicle stories, and he was talking about how some of the early tests they did, the computer was so accurate, the people in the car observing and taking control if necessary were just freaked out beyond belief, because the car was flying, like doing turns at 30 miles an hour, like just barely missing vehicles, because all the sensors, it knew exactly where it was going to be and then it wasn't going to miss, but the people inside could not handle it. They were freaking out. So it was an interesting collision of kind of human and robot together. So
The real question here is, if they're all the fast lane, are any of them the fast lane?
If everybody's special, that means nobody.
what if like you won't even know what lane you're in because you'll be busy on TikTok anyway. Like everybody is anyway when they're driving. So I mean, yeah. So
we do not condone TikTok and driving.
No, you're not allowed to do that. You're not allowed to do that. Do we want one more, or we want to move on?
I want to
do another one.
Let's see what else.
All right.
Last one. Okay.
Oh,
that's sweet.
it could be sweet. It could also
Green M&Ms.
They're the lime flavored ones.
Yeah. It could be. So it's M&M, green M&M, the music singer Eminem. Either one. It could be any of the above.
It was the beginning of his career.
Yeah, this is when I did his logo. Dang it! I should have tried a little harder. I didn't know. I thought he was. Yeah, I didn't think he was going to make it. Darn it. Okay.
Cool. Those are fun. I like those.
Yeah, puzzles are fun. So, like, I like to think of it as having, I like word searches as well. I think, I think very algorithmically when I'm looking at a word search, and I try new things. And I think the process of training your mind to look at a problem in many different ways and experiment with those ways, find the ones that work, kind of train your brain to approach every problem like that. And so I like kind of embodying that spirit of where there's a will, there's a way, finding a solution, being creative.
Sometimes you've got to think outside the blocks.
Yay! Nicely done. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share. I see Gatlin is also sharing screen. And what we're going to do is first talk about the GOAT update in Minecraft Education Edition. So Minecraft Education Edition just got the 1.17 update, which is you like calling it the GOAT update, the greatest of all time, but also because there's goats in it. which is cool. But they're really packing a lot of stuff in. I think we were at like 114 before this, right?
Wow, that's a jump.
Sounds
Yeah.
about right.
Yeah,
jump.
so it's a big jump, lots of stuff, which is great for Education Edition. So the Nether update and all that comes with it, the Caves and Cliffs update, part
We're
1.
excited too because there's a whole bunch of like programming goodies that come with 117 as well.
Yeah. There's still like a lot of stuff hidden behind experimental for blocks, isn't there? Like it seems like
Yeah.
the custom blocks keep teasing us with.
Are you planning on showing your screen there?
Yeah, we can't make Suburbia 2 quite yet, but
yeah, I'll put it up on the stream. There you go. Thank
Let's
you.
see what we're talking about.
Yeah.
The block of text. Ayo.
And then they have some additional things like 40 players per map, which is amazing.
That's cool.
So think of the mayhem that could be caused there. But of course, it's Education Edition, so a lot of that's controllable with World Builder and privileges and stuff like that, and allow and deny blocks.
controlled mayhem.
Yes. Managed chaos is what we like to call it, right? And then like photos as items, so you can kind of place them up on the wall.
And that one I'm excited to play with. I want to get in there and check that one out.
Yep. See that? The visual stuff.
Yeah.
Kind of get you going. And of course the library of maps and things like that available. So if we look at some of these different things in the library, so there's our hour of code is kind of and we have some links too. So Gatlin could throw some links to some of this stuff as we're going through it. If you want to also follow along, or if you want to, if you're watching this video and want to enjoy this with your class or by yourself, you can follow these links. So one of the cool things here is there's Explore Lessons. You can go through this link here and just access all kinds of lessons on different subjects. I think they said there's nearly 1,000 different lessons available for download on the website. So there's lots of information that you can get and use for yourself or your classroom in there, which is pretty cool. And then TimeCraft, Hour of Code. I played the video, but it was so choppy yesterday when we played, so I'm not gonna risk it this time. But it's easy, step by step. 1, 2, 3, 4 over there. That's all it is. Right? You get the Minecraft, you get the lesson plan, you facilitate it, you keep on learning. This is what I like. Okay, just little diversion here. Because I want like a life of code, not an hour of code, right? So and I think about like how much of an uproar could we get into if we were like hour of biology, or hour of history, or hour of any other subject, hour of English, like it doesn't make sense, So I think it's great to get people interested, but you want to have more when you get into it. And that's why you start looking for more lessons online, collaborating with friends, things like that. So,
I sense code is all around us. The step-by-step right there is code.
That's true. Yeah. Shane, how did you get interested in coding?
Oh gosh, I actually got into coding fairly late. I took a AP computer science class in high school, and that was my first coding experience. Actually, before that, I was just doing some Minecraft commands really lightly, and just got more and more into it. I guess it just goes to show like it's never too late to get into coding. You don't necessarily have to start really young. You can just hop in like whenever you feel like doing some code.
That's true. I'm the poster board for it's never too late. Even though I started coding when I was younger than when you started, it's still like, jumping into the world of video games was an exciting kind of reconnection to the joy that I had when I was younger. So this is fun for me. What about you, Jerry?
Minecraft. Yeah, I started coding with Minecraft.
Nice.
I've always been into puzzles and problem solving and stuff like that. And when Minecraft came to Xbox, I started playing around with redstone and then logic gates and all that stuff, and then quickly found out that they had command blocks in Java Edition. So started playing around with that, and yeah.
I would like to gift wrap every single line of code in this block and put them all together, lined up for me to see. The beauty of command blocks really breaks down the programming, which is now not quite as necessary with functions, which is nice.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so that's awesome story. The way you guys got interested in how far you've come with it from any point of interest. So that's really cool. It's a good reminder to everybody out there that try new things. You might like them, and I think it probably goes for all you guys like that. When you're interested in it, you focus a lot of time and energy in it. When you focus a lot of time and energy in it, you get better at it. When you get better at it, more opportunities come. And you meet more people and you learn more things, you collaborate, and that cycle just continues. It just needs to start, and that's what we hope to do. Cool beans. How are we doing on our the things that we wanted to cover here? We covered some of the essentials, and now we're ready to get into the hour of code. So here's how it's going to go. Gatlin's going to follow the block-based coding, and I'm going to follow the Python-based coding. We're going to kind of go through it at the same time. We'll switch between the two screens, and we'll kind of go from there. So the cool thing about this hour of code is that somebody's been meddling with time, and they've kind of changed the course of history, and we have to go back and fix things because they really jacked it up good. They really messed up things, which is super funny. So this is a pretty fun thing. So what I'm in Education Edition, and I am logged in, but you don't have to have an account to play this. You can actually do this one thing without an account. And so I'm going to click on Hour of Code, and you could see there's lots of hours of code. 2019, 2020, 21. We streamed the 2020 one last year. That was fun. And we're going to do this one and say create world. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I got a question for the audience while they're out there.
Yeah.
Of the colors, I'm going to name 5 colors, and you all get to pick your favorite color. All right, so start dropping this in the chat. So we got red, we got yellow, we got green, blue, and purple. So what's your favorite color? Red, yellow, green, blue, or purple of those 5? What do we get? This is the interactive part of the course.
Yeah, so we'll let them later. While they're doing that, let's kind of I love the start of this map, the framing, right? You got this black background, you got the picture waving at you, and then this is a particle effect, right? Yeah. So you got this really cool particle effect, like it's the button right here. Press
the button.
Yeah. I'm loving the particle effect. I'm loving a lot of the design, and the coding in the map. So we'll try to highlight that as we go. So NNO from Giggleblock says go for red. So
right.
I have to see, because I think red might be Rascal, and I'm picking Rascal because
I support this idea as well.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm actually in the game here. I didn't touch my mouse at the beginning, but I'm kind of in the game. Can I fall down? No. There's barrier blocks here keeping me kind of trapped. I got nothing else to do but press the button. Okay. So I have F1 selected. So F1 will toggle your interface on and off. And F5 changes your perspective. I highly recommend doing this from the first person perspective because you could see the crosshair a little more accurately. If you're doing it from over the shoulder, it's hard to see where the buttons are. They get in the way. So just if you're not in the correct view, make sure you hit F5, get in the correct view, and then we're going to right click. Minecraft presents TimeCraft. We need a soundtrack for this. Okay, cool. We've got this.
Oh.
And I mean, like 2001,
Yeah. Look at this docking.
Dun, 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 dun,
Cool. Nice. More particles.
I'm a big fan of particles, not gonna lie.
Nice. Is that, I'm assuming that's an entity?
Hmm.
Nice. Okay, very cool. Oh yeah, I like this too. So a couple things, great getting started, right? It's like press W to move forward. Is this smart? Like, what does this do when you're on a mobile device? Does it
I
tell
don't
you?
believe it. I don't believe it's smart. Is it, Brian?
No, it's not.
So hard. Like,
Yeah.
like how do you know what platform they're on if it's all these different types of devices?
As far as I know, there's not a check for that yet.
There is. I was playing it with a controller. It'll change if you're playing with a controller, which is
Nice.
pretty cool. Yeah, and all the
Well-
little button prompts change.
But yeah, I believe. Are you talking? Were you playing this particular map in on a controller, or just vanilla Minecraft in general?
I was playing this, but I am playing on PC with a controller.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we're
Okay.
doing, we're doing the Python version, so we're going to definitely need our keyboard for sure. So I think most people are going to be, if they're coding, they're probably going to be on that's a pretty safe assumption. So we're going to go up to this here. We got these cool little particles here showing us where to go. We could try to get distracted and jump off the edge. No, we can't.
Oh, it prevents
See?
you.
Yay, barrier blocks.
You're
So-
protecting the player from themselves.
I took a
Or
risk
maybe
there.
just clever like from goofing it up on the
That was a
screen.
big assumption I just made right there. So good job. I'm like, there's got to be something there. So maybe I shouldn't go off too crazy here. So press W to move forward. It's A to move left. D to move right.
And something I really like about this section is that it assumes that there are players out there that are going to be playing this that have never used this control scheme before.
Yeah.
Like, that's an amazing little thing. I love it when games do this.
Yep. And then the updated particles show you where to go. We kind of got used to the controls. That is one of the things when we teach newcomers. Like the first thing we focus on is controls. Like you need to get your way around the place before you can do anything else. Like your mind's not going to learn how to code or create anything if you don't know how to move around. You're going to be stuck with that. So getting comfortable with the controls is super cool. And it's super
Always
easy.
got to start with the basics.
Yep. And there it is. Cool. I love this. Like the particle effects kind of will align to your viewpoint. The billboard kind of faces you at all times. So the button just perfectly lines up with, or the particle lines perfectly with the button.
And I guess for those interested in game design out there, like billboards are something that we use very often. It's just like a nice technique for being able to, have images that always face you so that you don't miss them.
Yeah, like labels over NPCs.
Yeah, the name
and things like
tags,
that. Yeah. That's smart. It's you can lock it, or you can make it so the player always sees it kind of straight on the correct way. What I like about this too, this map for this purpose, is that it's very contained. There's not a whole lot of distraction in it. Like it's very focused, and that's kind of what you want especially for an hour. I also love that dude just appearing up as a hologram. Great, you're here. Things seem to be going wrong in time, and we need your computer science skills. I'm Tara. How do we pronounce it? Tara? Tara? Tara. And I operate the control center here at the Institute for Major Time Errors. Choose the time agent to help you on your missions. Okay. And now we could select blocks or Python. Gatlin, you're selecting blocks?
Yep.
Okay, I'm selecting Python. A little side tangent. Python, I learned Python way late in my life, and I was so sad about it. It was like one of those regrets in life because it's been around for a very long time. And I learned it when I was doing some projects on like Raspberry Pi, and it was like so amazingly powerful and fun. And I was so sad that I hadn't learned it sooner. So Python is a really powerful language. It's being used in data science. It's used in
AI.
AI. Yep. And so different machine learning, and it's a super fun language to program. It's good. It's good. Okay, so it's definitely a relevant thing to learn for sure. But if you're unfamiliar with coding, start with the blocks. That's a great way to get the concepts down. So next, let's pick your time agent. This robot will help you fix these mysterious errors in history and save the future. Check out that transparency on that entity.
Yeah, I know. I was
Nice.
jealous. I was like, oh, that's nice.
Love that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
here's our colors.
Uh-huh.
Colors.
I think I mean I'm going with Rascal.
You're doing it.
With a red
There's
Rascal.
one vote for red in chat.
Yeah, and
It was
so
100% vote.
so I'm gonna steal that vote. You have your own darn vote.
I got a text message for yellow.
Oh, we got one. I'll take
Oh,
yellow.
Ooh. Okay, I like that. Okay, that's perfect. So Gatlin, you're going yellow?
I'm going yellow.
All right, I'm going red.
Here we go.
oh, yeah, I think it was 3-2 there.
Oh, nice animation.
Yeah, I appreciate those animations. Those are very pretty.
Nice. And is that structure block or clone commands?
No,
What's the-
this was developed primarily in 1.14. 17 didn't come out till about a
Recently.
week before release. So
Mhm.
yeah, structure blocks weren't in there yet. So
Or at
basically a
least the
series
slash
of
structure command wasn't, right?
I'm sorry.
Or at least the slash structure command wasn't in.
right. So you had to use
Oh,
the clone
yeah.
command to copy. So basically, these frames of animation are hidden somewhere in the map, and they get put in place, just like frames of an animation would go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, basically, if you were to if you were to fly down below the map, there's like a whole bunch of just like stuff that's cloned in.
Playground.
It's the secret
You know what?
behind the scenes area.
I love those areas. I love discovering those areas, which is a little bit harder in Education Edition with the education.json, but you know, where there's a will, there's a way. I love the texture on this, how it looks like the light is causing that. I was like, whoa, that's really cool. Like, wait, no, that's the texture. You know, if you look at these up close,
Mm-hmm.
they look like they're lighted from the environment. But
It's yeah, and it's supposed to kind of look like a a sort of a round CTR kind of screen.
yep, that's
CRT
off.
screen rather.
Yeah.
We should
Yeah.
put it in ourselves. We know what that is.
Yeah.
CRT is that? Yeah, you could even say plasma and sound old. So
Right. A laser disc.
big old dinner plate.
When are CDs going to be like floppies where nobody knows what they are anymore?
Yeah.
The day that
much
the
longer
save
now?
icon changes into a CD, that's the day.
Yeah. What do you save it into? Nostalgia there. Yeah. So that's cool. Is that a block? Is that the texture of the block, or is that a?
Those are all entities.
Yeah, all little entities
Nice. Okay.
lined up perfectly with the blocks. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Mhm.
Perfect. Cool. So what am I doing here? I'm a little distracted, but look, there's an action bar message that says press C to deploy your time agent. So that's good. When you get lost, look around on your screen, and the good programmers will have instructions for what to do. And remember that if you're the programmer, you got to go through the extra steps. It's no fun creating that tutorial area and all the laying down all those particles necessarily, but it's a good payoff when it's done. All right. I deployed my agent. Red Rascal is in the house, y'all. All right. So agent deployed. Close this window. Yeah, it's about to get real. Okay, great choice. Now follow me.
See, Tara agrees with the red.
Follow me in the test area. Start coding. All right, Tara. Yeah, so Tara is an NPC that is probably buried somewhere underground in order to pull up their face on the NPC dialogue.
Yeah. If I remember right, yeah, we have two versions of Tara. There's the one that's being moved around that you're seeing, but then we have an extra one that it just makes it easier to target for the dialogue changes.
Yeah, because the dialogue could be kind of like interactable dialogue or like that forced pop-up dialogue. So yeah, that's be helpful to have because it uses their picture of the entity. I know I learned that because I buried them underground and there was no light there, and it uses the lighting of the environment.
Mhm.
So it's
Yeah,
like,
we did the same thing at one point. Yeah.
Yeah, we've run into that so many times of like we have an NPC pop up and it's just like, oh, why is it so dark?
it's like, and then you feel sad. It's like, get in this box down here. Okay, well, here's a light. Well, I'll give you a sofa as well. You know, try to make it homey for him. Yeah, it's funny the things you do when you're dealing with your characters.
Tara's got a little she shed down there. She hangs out in.
I'm glad you mentioned those particles though, because I did set each one of those particles one by one.
It seems like they were done intentionally and very well done. Good job.
That was, that was my day.
Yeah. I know. It's like I just get through this. Like that's another thing with coding is like there it can be monotonous at times, but like when you get through it, the payoff is always really great. So Tara says, I've added a talk device to your inventory. Select the talk device to call me. Yo, Tara, what's up? Tara's like, press start activity when you're ready to begin. This will call your time agent. And you can start coding. Use your talk device for hints. Ooh, nice. All right, so if I said never mind here, because I'm like that, I've got, I'm going to look around here. Nothing's going on. All right.
Have you been downstairs yet?
Use the talk device. Honestly, I have, and I just will show you because I have auto jump on. There you go. So, yes, I have. Why do you ask?
That's weird. Okay, just want to check. Make sure you know doing what you're supposed to.
Good old auto jump. Love that. So use the talk device. By the way, I love the talk device texture. Super cool. In the hotbar, it looks very three-dimensional.
I think one of the things I also really appreciate about this specific interface is that you can have her talk to you. So for those that are hard of sight, they can actually like listen to the character actually talk, which is an amazing addition. I'm just jealous.
Immersive
That's
Reader.
awesome.
Yeah, Education Edition comes with Immersive Reader, so I mean it translates.
That's so cool.
If you don't know English, you could translate this dialogue to your native language, or it could also read it to you out loud, probably in all those different languages too, which is super super cool.
Today,
and the developers get that for free.
Today, the Clever Like is your Immersive Reader.
That's true. He's rocking it.
Yes. You're welcome. All right. Press C to code. You're looking at me. It's going to be okay. I put you in this box. I'll get you out of here. Okay. Time agent testing area. Press C. Okay. And so we have this window here. What do we call this window?
The coding window.
The coding window. So it's cool. It's got the test area. Gatlin, we'll pop up your screen too, so don't jump too far ahead on that. But for me, it has like the kind of like a reference manual of what commands you will need, and it looks like you could run some test code, which moves forward 2 steps forward and 1 step back. That's good because normally it's the other way around, right? So at least we're making progress.
I laugh because it's true.
Yeah. And then we have an example code. Like, so pro tip is like use a loop to get your commands done instead of doing the same command over and over again. Use a loop, which kind of automatically iterates a command. And so this is an example of how that would work. I want to talk about for loops a little bit, especially with everyone here. But first, we'll show Gatlin's screen. And then there's the space for me to do the activity. This is where I would put my code that I could run on my agent and try to achieve the task of getting the agent to the other side. So welcome to your first coding task. Let's test your time agent and see how it follows your code. Use the agent move to move your agent 3 blocks forward into position. That's the task. So I'm going to close this and I'm going to put Gatlin's screen up here. This is what popped up on your screen.
Yeah, so this is what your interface will look like when you're doing the blocks version of it. It's a little bit different, but it's still basically the same setup. So let's kind of walk around the UI a little bit because it is a little bit different. There's something that's actually really cool in here. So this little section right here, this little button, what it allows you to do is actually flop this to the other side because there may be times when you want to see the other side of the screen due to the puzzle that you're working on. So you can flop it really easy.
Oh,
Really
dude,
nice.
same. Oh, man. You blew our mind with that.
There it is. There it is. So with mine, I've actually got little blocks and I can grab these blocks and move them around. And this area right here, this whole thing is set up as an area that's just like a bunch of events. I can put anything that I want in there, which is really nice because for me, I'm not a big fan of writing code. No offense to anybody that might be here, but I'm like, I don't want to like write out code. Like I want little things that like snap together. Like, I grew up with Legos and I stuck with like 3 dimensions. Like, and like, here, we're going to put it in like abstract words. And I'm like, I want pretty pictures. And it helps me a lot to be able to do it this way. So for me, I don't have to go in there and write this information. But over here on the side of this, I've actually got everything that I need to like do what I need to do. Now there's one of these start ones already in here. So I don't have to worry about that part. All I need to do is actually just grab this guy and I can move it and just drop it in here. It doesn't do anything. But if I drop it inside of here, as soon as I hit the play button down here in the corner, I'm going to actually be able to make this guy move forward 2, right? So, or in this case, 1. I need to go 2. I need to go 2 eventually.
3.
So for me, I have a couple of options inside here, so I don't have to write out the words. So for somebody that's not so great at spelling, myself included, I can actually just read this and be like, okay, well, do I want to move forward? Do I want to move backwards? Do I want to move left, right, up, or down? And I can just go ahead and put that in there. Well, I know for sure in this case, I want to move forward. Whoops, there we go. But how many of them do I actually want to move? So this allows me to kind of go, okay, well, here's 1 block, 2 blocks, right? And then a 3rd one right there. So I know that I've got to move 1, 2, 3 in the forward direction because this character is actually facing this way. So that gives me kind of a hint in the world as well as, the directionality of the actual little agent in there. So let's go ahead and bring that up. So if I go ahead and set this as forward, and then I'll go ahead and I'll zoom in on this. It's a little easier to see. Just click into here, just delete that 1 out of there. And I could say 7, but that's not going to do me any good in the long run to kind of goof things up. But I'm also into the whole idea of like seeing how far I could break a game. So I could make him like move forward 1 and then go backward 1 and then go forward 2 and then go backward 1 and then go forward 3. And I could do some really silly things. But in the time that we've got to kind of show all this stuff, I'm not going to make my little Rascal guy dance. Although I didn't do Rascal, I did Yeti. Right. So I can just make this character move forward. So once I get this in here, for me, this is really easy. I don't have to worry about syntax. All I have to do is just kind of snap these guys in here. I could also, let's go ahead and take this out of here, right? So I can grab one of these guys and I could say, well, let's just move forward once, move forward twice, move forward 3 times. And that's going to do the same thing. But in this case, I just have 1 block that I can actually drop in there. So I can also grab all 3 of them by grabbing the top one and moving this down. So let's go just drop all 3 of them in there. Go ahead and hit play. 1, 2, 3. Yay! There we go. So then I win that one. So let's see what yours looks like because I'm curious because I don't know any kind of Python or any of those other languages.
Okay. Well, first of all, great job. And whoa, flip window. Blow my mind with that. That was awesome.
Honestly, I had no idea.
I've been doing that too.
Yeah.
So,
You've been doing like me, and you escape, and then you move over and do it again. Oh, Gatlin, you saved the day. That's
always something new to learn.
Yep. Yeah. I love that. Okay, so that's why we work so well together. It's awesome. All right, so I'm going to hit C to go into my coding, and so the idea here, we're getting straight into loops because we have 3 movements to go, and we're talking about, one. You can see how agent move forward. It's going to move forward 1 block. That line of code, and you can't say move forward 3 blocks. Unfortunately, the parameters that this accepts or the information that this accepts is only like what direction, and it will move you 1 block in that direction. So since we're dealing with that constraint, we have to know that each 1 line of code will move us 1 block in this case in the direction that we specify. And so we have a for loop, which is designed to kind of go through multiple times running the command that's inside of it. In Python, the indented is kind of like, think of it just like indenting, like if you're writing a document or something like that, you have your, your heading section and then the list or the things inside of it in the outline form. So we've got the agent move forward is inside of the for loop. And I don't know about you guys, but I always thought for I in range or for I equal 1 to 10 was really confusing. So the idea of a for loop, the letter after the for is a variable, which is basically like you saying, hey, keep track of what number we're on, like, and that's your name, you're I, and you're going to tell me what number we're on if ever I need to know where we are in the count. So that variable, or that letter I, is merely responsible for keeping track of how many times we've done this. So it'll know when to stop. And so that's where I is in range of 2 is basically, I will start at 1, and it'll go through once, and once it reaches the end, it'll come back. It'll increment itself and come back up to the top. And so now it's like, hey, I'm on 2, and it'll run the second one, and it'll go to 3. And then what's going to happen is that this is no longer in range. I is now 3, and that's beyond the range of 2. And so it's going to be like, whoa, that doesn't match anymore. I'm done. So it will have executed the agent move command 2 blocks because of the way that's designed. So hopefully that helps. The cool thing there is, what's interesting is in the future, that variable I is available to you to use. So you can test with it. You can print it out on the screen. You could do other things like that. So what's interesting there is it's a variable that you can use later.
I think the reason, if I recall, the reason why we use the letter I, because you can use any letter or any word that you want there in place of I. I think the reason we use that is to stand in for increment.
Yeah, increment, iterate.
Iterate,
like
yeah. It's just a shorthand for like, this is a number that's just going to keep increasing, basically.
Yeah, and it's very common. Like, it's kind of like the throwaway variable. It's for X, for Y, for I, for whatever. You pick a thing because you're most of the time not using it. It just has to be there to keep count. But again, I feel like for loops, the way they're arranged, can be confusing for some people. So you might think of it like, do this 2 times and keep track of it, and let I be the one that keeps track of it. So hopefully something like that helps if somebody has a different view or different perspective. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a for loop to move this agent forward 3 blocks. So I'll say for I in range 3, and then that's a colon. The other thing, details, punctuation. Oh, punctuation in coding. You really learn how important punctuation is. and my kids get on my case like, Dad, you can't put punctuation in your text messages. It sends the wrong message. I'm like, what do you mean? It's a sentence. Like, punctuation to me is very important. So I blame coding. That's my new thing. I'm going to blame coding.
Yeah, the nice thing about the blocks, if you're just starting out, is you don't have to worry as much about punctuation. Unfortunately, if you have anything wrong with the punctuation anywhere in code, your code just might not run.
It's all over.
It might just like go, I don't know. Like, your computer might just say like, I don't know what to do with this.
And it won't tell you that the punctuation is wrong because it didn't know that you wanted punctuation. It just kind of merged it in with the next thing. So a lot of cases, your error messages might not be exactly like, hey, you forgot the punctuation here. Some things are really good at that, but other things aren't. They'll see them just as kind of a run-on, and which will confuse the command, and it will blame the next command for being wrong because you didn't close the one above it, things like that. So troubleshooting, being clever, being observant, noticing patterns. When you see a certain error message and realize, oh, this is probably punctuation, you'll know to look at that. So I hit enter on this, and it immediately indented me because it knows I did that colon. It knows like I want to put some stuff inside of a loop. So I'm going to do agent move forward. And it kind of already finishes stuff. What do you guys do when you're at this point with autocomplete? What's the I don't want to type. Like it's telling me like you don't have to type anymore. If I hit enter, it'll throw that stuff down on the next line. What's the keystroke that you guys use at this point for autocomplete?
Escape, maybe. Depends, maybe on the.
Yeah. That kind of and
Yeah.
Not familiar enough with the editor
In
to
VS
know
Code,
where
anytime
it
I
is.
get an autocomplete that I want to avoid, I hit escape.
Escape. Okay. Yeah. Like I noticed that too. I'm like sometimes I'll do tab or right arrow. It's like whatever it is not convenient.
It never is. No.
It's trying to save me time, and I'm like, what? You're gonna make me grab my mouse or grab a key or hit a different key that's kind of like not in my jam. So anyway, like that's interesting. If anybody else has a solution or a technique that they use for dealing with autocomplete efficiently, I'd love to hear it. So this is it. He used tab to autocomplete the commands. Okay, Carsman uses tab.
Yeah, in Minecraft, it's really handy when you're just typing commands in chat. You can just tab.
Super handy. Yes, lots of good stuff hiding in the tab key. Okay, I think we're ready to run this. So let's go ahead and run. Hey, well done. Good job, clever like agent. No time to lose. There's a pun in there somewhere. Follow me to the timeline computer to help fix these time splits. Time splits.
You gotta watch out for those puns. They're everywhere in this
map. That's what makes it fun. Okay, so I got the particles down here. So notice that there's nothing going on here. I see the hologram, which is there. And once I walk into this range, it's detecting me and popping up this dialog automatically without me interacting. So this is a like a little test for block, right? Or a test, not a test for block, but a test for player.
Or execute nowadays. But yeah, it's basically waiting for the player to go inside a certain region, and then once the player steps inside of that like invisible box, then it goes to the next step of the tutorial.
Yep. And that, you notice we walked in there before and it didn't trigger that trigger only starts to look after we finished that previous step. So it becomes active looking for it. I'm noticing I didn't notice before, but the twinkling particles up on the screen. It's like, look up here. I'm hiding. Okay, welcome to the Timeline Computer. A time split has been detected. That means something has gone wrong in time. You and your time agent must travel to these time splits and fix them. Press the button on the Timeline Computer to select the first time split. I like this. A kazoo. Timeline Computer. Superb. Now follow me to the time pod to begin your mission. Okay. He disappeared. Love that animation. More particles. Good to see you. Like, is there an appearance animation that we keep missing that we don't get to benefit from because we're not?
There is. You might see it every now and then. Yeah.
Well, you commented on the first one.
Yeah, the first one. I'm like, wow.
It's just after that point, it's just not in your view.
Yeah, it's going to where we need to go. I'm like, wow, that's such a cool animation. I'm sad to have always missed it. Okay, so another detect. You can use the time pod to travel to the time split. We only have enough power to travel 3 times. Oh man, we need that flux capacitor upgrade. Seriously. Okay, so let's make each time count. Oh, 3. So now move toward the time pod. Press the button, open it, and receive your mission briefing. Okay. There's our button press. So I'm assuming this is your entity, just like the other things?
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's an entity as well.
Very cool. In this time split, assumed to be famous jazz musician has lost their prized trumpet and is using a kazoo instead. Their influence on the world is disappearing. Travel to New York City, USA in the 1920s to save jazz. I got to know, like, did James have a part of writing some of this stuff, or who's writing this stuff? It's hilarious. I love it.
I don't actually know.
Yeah. That's all right. Now that you've been briefed, enter the time pod, press the button. Okay, I already did that. So Gatlin, I'm curious about you. What did you get? Can I switch to your screen?
It's the same thing actually, because we're at the beginning of it. So.
Oh, okay.
I've already met the jazz musician. So my question to the audience too is like, okay, based on the clues that we've been given so far, who is this character? Because this is a real person.
I knew it would be, and I'm not a jazz person. I don't know who this.
I don't know enough jazz didn't know who it was offhand, but we know that it was 19. Well, you'll have to jump into the world. It's 1924. It's a jazz musician, and said jazz musician plays trumpet.
Is it like Benny King or something like that? Is that
I'm not
even a
totally
musician?
sure. I think we'll leave this one up to the audience to see if they can figure this one out.
Oh yeah, someone get that Google going.
Get it going. Who is this? Who is this cat?
Famous jazz kazooist.
1924.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you'll find much with that Google search.
Well, it depends how well we do. We only have 3 trips. We could screw up the whole thing.
It's true.
Okay, so Gatlin, I'll let you
Roll through this one. So yeah, I've made it in here so far. So boot off the stage. Ever since I lost my trumpet clue, but nothing here. Nothing's been the same. The kazoo doesn't have the same kind of zing. We need more zing to sing here. So this is bad. If the musician can't find his trumpet, jazz music may never exist. Another clue. Something going on here, right? So let's see what we can do. See what we can do to help them out. I'm detecting something belonging to the jazz musician behind the wall. To start the mission, use your talk device and call up the time agent. So let's go ahead and close this down. Let's get Yeti up in this. So I'm going to go ahead and hit it. So do I want to start the activity, or do I want to kind of like wander around? So let's go ahead and start the activity. I think this is fair. It opens up and then we get to see it. So this is looking really familiar to what we had just done to get the time agent to move behind the glass wall, which is an excellent piece of game design because we've already done this and we're just scaffolding on top of it to go a little bit farther. So this is awesome. So excellent. You revealed the location of the jazz musician's trumpet. All we had to do was make the wall invisible. Superpowers, right? Here we go. Use the code to move the time agent through the maze and collect the trumpet. So let's go and close this down. So this is where I came in here. I was like, okay, let's hit the C key. And I was like, I can't see the other half of the screen. So this is why I was like, I wonder what other buttons are up here. Man. My wife gets so mad at me. She's like, why are you just hitting buttons? I'm like, because there's an undo button. That's why. I do whatever I want, right? We can do this, though. If we back up a ways, get this mostly on the left-hand side of the screen. So what I'm trying to do is basically get this whole thing over here so I don't have to look on this side. I want to get the code over there. And I know the item happens to be right there. So that's going to be a good thing. So let's get it right about there at the C key. The other thing I'm going to start watching for is what's going on in the environment as far as the blocks, because this is what's going to help me out a lot. We do know, and thankfully for the way this was designed, we've actually got little blocks in here so we can actually see where the edges of these are. Although if I could draw on top of them, right? So we have a grid that actually kind of shows where we need to go, either up or down. And the other thing I like about this game design is that I've got 2 options. I don't have to go up. I don't have to go down, but I can kind of make that decision. Something I haven't explored with, and I don't know, maybe our guests can, is there something up there? If I go up far enough, is there something to find up there?
I don't think there is.
No.
Is Pac-Man going to come down and get us? We go too far? Are we going to teleport elsewhere in time? I don't know what it's going to be.
You're like a Super Mario player, aren't you? You're like,
Get to the secret warp pipes.
Yeah,
there. Yeah,
exactly. He's like, oh, I'm going in for the bonus round.
Got to be the thing, right? So deductive reasoning, let's go ahead and start kind of breaking this down. So we know we definitely need to move forward because, again, this is our forward direction. So that's going to be a big part of it. So all we have to do is on start. So we can start in there. So I'm going to just drag that guy in there. So how many of them do we need to move forward? Well, let's see. Here we go. We'll consider this one 1. We'll send that one 2. So 1 and 2. So we need to go forward twice. Let's go into here. Whoop. There we go. Put in a 2. Again, I could go forward like 7. It would be super funny, right? And then I want to go ahead and start to move up or down. I'm going to go up because I want to bring up a point in this, in that when I first started playing this, I was like, do I have to worry about gravity? I'm so used to working in other game engines where there's this gravity, and the agent doesn't have to worry about gravity. I was like, oh, well, that's like cheating. This is like Newton would be rolling in his grave. Like, this is crazy, right? So let's go ahead and go up. Now, I've got a couple of options here. I can drag in another one of these guys, but I can also, if I right click on this, it does give me the option to actually duplicate this, which is great. Now, I don't want it to be exactly the same, but I could just go ahead and duplicate it too. So, whoops, let's bring that back. There we go. So I'm going to just right click on it and go and say duplicate. And I get another one that says move forward 2. Well, I don't want to move forward 2. I'm going to just go up 1. So let's change that one to 1. We'll change this one to
Luckily, we're duplicating code and not matter. Otherwise, Newton would be even angrier.
Yeah,
We
seriously.
really have a problem. Oh, good Lord.
We'd get
Okay.
that lightning that we need for the time machine, though.
There we go. There we go. Yeah, get the flux capacitor charged.
Yeah.
Do it proper.
Yeah.
So I'm going to duplicate this again. And you'll notice it actually just duplicated the one I clicked on. Even though I can pull this out and it'll be 2 pieces, it's only going to duplicate the one that I've actually got, I'm right clicking on, which is kind of a good little thing to know too. So then I need to move forward again. I'm going to save myself a little bit of time and just duplicate the forward one. So that goes 3. So I'll be going forward 1, 2, 3. And then I need to start going down. I'm going to go 1, 2 down. So just right click on this bad boy, say duplicate. We're going to change this up to its opposite, which is down. Unless you live in another universe, then may all the powers of Newton save you. I have no idea how to save you out of that one. Okay, so we've managed to go forward, up, forward, down. So then we need to go forward again. So let's go and grab another forward out of here because we can. Let's go forward 2. And then we need to go up 3. So let's go and duplicate that guy. Wait, 3? Am I going up 3? Let's check this out. 1, 2, 3. Yes. Okay, perfect. So we'll go up 3. And I just need to go forward 2. So we've got one of them right here. So just duplicate that. Drop that in there. And then our last one, this is cool. Like it gives us this piece. So at the very beginning, we actually kind of had a hint on what we needed to do because we have all the pieces that we need right here, this is great. Like it kind of gives us an idea of where we can go. And it doesn't give us too many options, which is really nice too. Now, to ask you guys this, was this something that was a conversation that you had about developing this?
Yeah, it's not specifically this project because we've done a lot of EDU content in the past, but keeping the toolbox clutter free, it just provides a better, if there was all the blocks available to players, it would be a bit overwhelming.
Yeah. Gotcha. Yeah. So let me just go and grab this one and we'll go ahead and collect all. So this, fingers crossed, should make it work. I've goofed this up a few times and
I don't know about this one.
Yeah, all your programming buddies are just sitting here watching, saying like, "Okay, this is good. This is going to be real world."
Here we go. So we'll play and see what happens.
Get ready. Bonk
Uh-oh.
your head. Yeah.
Oh, there it is. I said I was going down first, didn't I? Okay, so here's what's kind of cool about this. So I'm going to say it's cool just to make it positive. Here we go. So all of this, I can just pull this out of here and be like, okay, well, I don't need that now. Now I just got to like figure out how to go down, right? So we can grab parts of this.
Well, let's troubleshoot. I think it'd be valuable to troubleshoot because this is like perfect. I think this is why if anyone noticed it, they didn't say anything because this is like a perfect example of, okay, let's go back. So you could reset your robot. No, don't reset editor. Don't do that.
It's the talk device.
You have to go back out and do the talk device and then reset activity.
Ah, there it is.
Right. So
I just forced my way through it last time. Right?
Yeah. If you get stuck, do the reset. Kind of try it from the beginning. And so, like, let's troubleshoot this because it's valuable. So look at the beginning. When you do a move command, you move forward. So you are going to go move 1, move 2, move 3. You want to get out into that hallway. So that needs to be 3. And the cool thing about this too is like you see me with my hand, I'm like visually like moving it, thinking about it. This is why I like robots so much because you could actually like think of where it's going to go and then watch it go there. And this visualizing your code is really helpful. So you can do it in this case too. So you're like 1, 2, 3, and then it's like it's now in that hallway, and you're going up, right? So you're going 1 up. Now you're in that spot. You have to visualize yourself in that spot. And so you're going to go forward 1. No, like you're counting the 1 where you already are. So if you go forward 1, you're going to end up there. Yep. And then 2, right? So that's 2. And now since you occupy that block, a move down will move you to the next one down. 1, 2. Cool. And then to the right, 1, 2, which is forward, right? Yeah. Yep. And then up 1, 2.
And this one needs to change here,
Right. So the thing there was, not seeing the robot moving, you're counting the block where it was occupying rather than counting the one where it would move to. So it's cool.
What this is really showing is that like writing the code is half of coding. Debugging the code is the other half.
And we just ignore all of the error checking code because that's the most boring. No.
Whee!
Wow, you cornered real well.
Yeah,
You didn't mess around on those corners.
That's a speed run right there. Yeah.
Seriously, yeah.
Cool. So thank you. I've missed my
Awesome.
trumpet with all my heart. Let's see how they like jazz now. All right. So there we go.
Okay, I'm going to switch over to mine.
Cool.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing that. That's super cool.
Still no guesses on who this character is, huh?
Yeah. Where's our research team? Come on now.
Uh-oh.
I got a correct answer. My girlfriend's watching the stream, and
good.
She got it.
Okay. Thank you.
I'm guessing somewhere around initials of L and A.
That is correct.
Oh, nice.
I was gonna say,
What
that's
a
what I figured. As
wonderful
soon as I saw the picture, I was like, oh, I know who this is. Yeah.
Okay. So we're in Python here. I really next time you're streaming, I'm going to switch to the Zoom tool. You're so good at that. You're such a visual person. Like the things you do make seeing stuff that much better.
You're welcome. Glad I can
Yes,
help.
thank you. Okay, so here's the cool thing about this, and this is a little bit of the struggle that I had with this activity. It's like, okay, I know you want me to do loops because you just taught me loops, and you're showing me loops again here. But like if it takes me 2 lines of code to do a loop, and I'm only moving 2 lines, I'm only moving 2 spaces. Like, do I do a loop or do I just brute force it and do the 2 move commands? And I think the basic idea here is that from a coding standpoint, you kind of never know when things are going to change and what's going to be thrown at you. So you kind of have to be ready for being dynamic, being flexible, and loops helps you just change a number rather than changing the lines and lines of code. So I'm going to show you some tricks here. We'll do it the wrong way and then kind of fix it. So I have agent move forward. And I know a lot of you, like if you wanted to select this line, I know a lot of you will like move your mouse to the beginning here. You can see it turns to an arrow and you might get your cursor just right. So you could click and drag to the end. And the problem with that is, first of all, it takes time. But it's also, you're not picking up like the carriage return. That's kind of like the invisible character at the end. So if I were to copy this and paste it, they're all on top of each other, which is super annoying, right? And so what I want you to do, if you want to copy a line of code, if you see how the arrow changes, it switches facing the opposite direction. If I click on the number when the arrow is the other way, it selects the entire line, including the carriage return. So now what I do is I'll just copy it, Control C, and now I'm going to Control V right on top of it, which will replace it in place. So I don't have to click and find a new place. I'm going to just paste, paste, paste. Right? And what I'm going to do is, how many times do I go forward? I go like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I'm just going to do something like that.
I see what you're doing.
I'm gonna brute force this sucker. So now we have we're going to go up once. So I'll do your route here. So I'm just gonna change this guy to up, and then I'm gonna go forward twice, and then I'm gonna go down, and watch. Again, like if I click and drag on the F just perfectly, you're going to be prone to over selecting or under selecting. If you just double click the word forward, it selects the whole word. And I see a lot of people like they'll delete and then they'll start typing. You don't have to do that. You could just start typing. So you double click the word and then just start typing down. It saves you some time.
Yeah, and if you accidentally overselect or underselect and delete one of those quotes, then your computer might freak out and try to run that. It might just be like, nope, I don't know what to do here.
Yep,
I don't know what direction this is.
Right. I mean, what would your English teacher say about a missing parenthesis? I mean, yeah. So I'm going to so I'm trying to give you some tips on working with code, and these are like mouse based tips. There's other keyboard tips we'll get into as well. And I'm doing this in it's funny, I'm like telling you about all this efficiency and being real mean about it and doing the sloppiest way of coding it at the same time. So sorry about that. But it's fun. It makes it possible. So going forward twice, up twice, and then forward twice. Okay, so forward twice, Control C, up twice, up. Okay, so forward. What did we go? We went down,
Forward.
forward. No, didn't we? Oh, no. Oh yeah, down. Forward. So we're over here, forward, and then we go up.
Up, down, left, right.
He's trying to trick
One
me.
of these days,
That's
that's
how
gonna
you
be
get to
the
the secret.
AB select start.
That's how you get up to the secret work pipes up there.
Yeah, sucker! I'm getting the secret bonus points. And then agent collect. So I could do the same thing over here. I can go up to this code here. I can click this line, copy it, and then I can click down here and paste it. And then you guys could see we'll see how I did here. Flip window. If I run it, what happens? Okay.
Wow, that looked awfully familiar.
Yeah. I'm sad that I did that because I wanted to show you how to compact all that into loops. What's your theory, guys? On I'm assuming that we should encourage people to do the loops.
Well, definitely do the loops if you have plans or anticipate the need for modification later. The loops is going to take you more time on the front end, but if you have to make changes, it's going to save you a lot of time on the back end.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and when programming, generally, like when you start programming with someone else and not just writing code for yourself, it's generally better to use loops or try to write code that's as readable as possible, so that if somebody else comes through your code, they can read and oh, it's moving forward too because of loop 2, instead of them reading through this long list of one block at a time movements.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's super inefficient and hard to read and not good scalability techniques. So you'll want to, even though you can do it, you'll want to pick the more official proper version that's more scalable. So I have searching for a hidden button. I noticed that it's like the first time around it's saying, here, click this button. You found a hidden button. It appears a secret room has been revealed in the area. Oh, let's find the secret room. Where is it?
It's
right
secret.
Here. Yeah. Particles. What's this? It looks like our culprit is a time agent, but which one? We've got to get to the bottom of this. So we have, remember the clue. We'll discuss our findings when we return to the control center. When you're ready, use your talk device to go back. So Gremlin and Yeti are suspect. Is that you, Gatlin?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I saw you in this room just a minute ago.
Could Yeti be the time culprit?
Oh, I saw you in this
Gremlin?
room. Tune in. Okay, so end mission, right? To go back to the control center. Oh,
Find out on the next episode.
Yes. But first, a word from our sponsor. Okay. Welcome back. Those images of the time agent you found must be a clue as to who's causing these time splits. Based on the evidence you've gathered, well, yeah, I think it's you. What does yours say?
I had Banshee and Pixie
Ooh.
as my culprits.
See, it wasn't me.
I was hoping we were going to get a Rascal Yeti.
Yeah.
That would have been amazing.
For it.
That would have been amazing.
That would have been perfect.
Okay. Now,
In a parallel universe, maybe that's what happened.
yeah.
If we want to go and talk about loops, have a vote on which one we should do next.
Okay.
Ooh.
This is funny. So these are like the problem. This is the pyramids. Like the pyramids have gone square. Somebody messed up and lost the plan. Is this the Great Wall? Like they made it all gates? Is like the great gated wall, great arches of China? Crying Mona Lisa picked the wrong image. I got a laugh out of this one for sure. Airplanes. Instead of airplanes, they're flying balloons, vehicles. Computers, bear. What is that? Bears playing ball. That's which one?
Don't you know that's the domestication of the bear?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's exactly what that was.
Yeah, cuddly.
Before we actually move on, there's something that I kind of want to point out. So look over at your kazoo. It's not a kazoo anymore.
Yeah,
right? Like it's updated.
And there's a different button.
You fixed time.
Yeah, and there's trophies too. So that's what the whole downstairs things is. Like there's this cool little way to kind of keep track of which ones you've done in 2 different ways.
Yes, if you accidentally auto jump down there.
That sounds like experience.
All right, which one are we doing?
So I'm a big fan of dinosaurs, so I say we go figure out the dinosaur one.
Okay, this guy here.
Yeah.
Go to the time pod. Ooh, something up on the screen. Okay. Interesting in this times, but it seems that those long-necked dinosaur necks have shrunk. Must be a clue left behind as to what happened. I have located a dig site where paleontologists are discovering dinosaur fossils. Travel to the North American wilderness in the 1800s and uncover this mystery. Going in. Here's our cool particle effects. Archaeological dig site, North American wilderness. It appears that the creatures we have uncovered here have quite a short neck. They must have climbed trees to eat their leaves. Maybe they had ladders. Okay.
Short neck slots.
Look, the dinosaur in the dig site is missing its neck bones. The culprit must have stolen them. We need to put these bones back in place. Start your mission by using your talk. Okay. I'm going to go to my talk. Boom. See a chest over there, though. It's calling out to me. Oh, okay. Excellent. Now the time agent's in place. Use your code to replace those missing neck bones. Ooh. Ah. Okay. Hey, buddy. Yeah, I see. He's looking at me. So what's the situation here? I'm going to have to place bones down in the ground. So I'm going to go forward 1, 2. And then replace that, whatever that block is, with a bone. Forward 1, 2, replace. Forward 1, 2, replace. Forward 1, 2. I like patterns. This is why we like patterns, people.
So it might make you feel really loopy.
Yep. So we have our assignment. We have our code reference material, and we have okay. We're giving the agent the blocks to place, the bone blocks, so that they have it in their inventory to place down on the ground. And then we can destroy a block and replace or place a new block from our inventory. So you could see here, remember I told you earlier about parameters? So you could see here that there's extra values on this here. The agent give has 3 values separated by commas. It has what's the block you're getting, how many of them, and then what slot do they go in. And so all of those are important because I think the agent place, it's placing from slot 1 and then the direction that it's placing. So that slot 1 becomes important to remember. Okay, and I have my example here. I'm going to steal that. So what I did on this case, I clicked on the number and I held the mouse button down, and then I drug down, and it's selecting line after line automatically. So I don't have to worry about how I'm selecting things. And then I just click over here and paste.
Some computer science teachers would get very angry at you for that.
Who gave you the answer?
Yeah.
I mean, what's the website? Why am I drawing a blank? Anyway, so I know we're running low on time because we're talking so much. So that's the other part. You can type this out. That would be ideal. I like to think of this part as initialization. So a lot of times, like before you're writing your code, you have to kind of set the stage and set the environment. So in this case, we're kind of like one time at the very beginning, we're setting things up. We're not going to go back to it, but we're going to use the fact that we set it up for ourselves. And then, and this could be, this could be the loop where we actually do the work. And so I'm going to go 1, 2, forward. I'm going to dig down and place down. Yeah, that's a total steal. So that is going to go and place this block here, but he's going to be done, right? How many times do we have to do that? 1, 2, 3, 4. So now we have a nested loop is what it's called. And so what we're going to have to do here, which is super interesting, is put another loop before this loop, because we're going to run this chunk of code 4 times in a row. So this is where your letters become interesting, because we will say like for A in range 4, colon. And then you see here I have, I want to put my loop in there, but it's kind of stuck. So there's a couple of things I could do. I could select all of it like I did last time. And then if you hit the tab key, it'll indent it for me automatically. So you could see these lines kind of show now 4 times it's going to run this chunk of code that moves, that basically runs twice. Ooh.
Oh, yeah. Do you need a nested loop on this?
No, because he's got these. Okay, so I could do this. I could save the day here.
Yep, there's a nested loop.
So 4 times it'll go forward twice, dig down, move, and loop back up to the beginning. So let's see what that does. Oops.
Are you putting things in the holes?
Blunk, blunk, blunk.
He's totally.
Wow.
Excellent.
He really was peeling out there. And did he jump because of something I did going backwards, or is that just an artifact of the animation?
I think
Just
so.
the animation lagging behind
shut-
it. The agent's too fast for
It's quite fast, yeah. I don't remember it being so fast. All right, this creature actually had very long neck. It must have been used to reach leaves at the tallest trees. Fascinating. Okay, time split's repaired. While that's happening, we'll switch over to Gatlin.
So mine is a little bit different, and this is kind of why I like working with this. But also, any ideas on who this person is that's up here? Long neck dinosaur paleontologist that found this.
You again with the questions.
Man, I'm a teacher. It happens.
Yeah. Got it.
That's how this works, right?
Jerry, get your girlfriend on that.
Right, good.
We need our research scientist here.
So for me, with the blocks, this one right here is the actual loop. It's called a repeat. It's a little bit different, but it's basically the same idea, right? So I can, put things inside of this one. It's just like the start one that we played with. It's the exact same setup, right? So if I bring this over here, I'm like, okay, I want to repeat this 4 times, and it's exactly actually what I want. I don't even have to worry about it because we're going to go do this once, do this twice, do this 3 times, and do this 4 times. It's totally a thing, right? So I can actually just take this right now and drop it in, or I can wait, sort of drag a couple of these in here. So I know I want to move forward twice. So let's go over here. Let's move forward twice on that one. And then I want to destroy directly what's below me. Again, I don't have to worry about gravity. This is fantastic. It's totally cool, right? So I'm going to destroy the one that's actually down because it's below the actual robot. So I'm going to use the one down here on the very bottom. And then I just need to place something down inside of there. And I don't want to place it forward. I also want to place it down because that's where I'm going to be, is standing right on top of it. Then just take this whole thing and just snap it in here. And it doesn't look like it's going to be wide enough. And then it takes the whole thing there. It's like that giant hamburger that you eat. I'm going to do this.
That's what I'm
the whole thing, right?
Making me hungry.
Right.
And that's for the block coding. We made it so you didn't have to initialize as well. We just give the agent some bone blocks.
Right. Yeah. And like I love this whole block idea. Like it's so pretty. I love it. So let's go ahead and play this one, and it'll do basically the same thing. Doop, de-doop, de-doop, de-doop. Ta-da.
Nice.
We win.
I love the thing about if you're deciding like how to, the benefits of block-based coding and hand coding is the hand coding, like in Python, where you indent is important to know like when something is looping. And the nice thing about the block-based code, that bracket just kind of groups everything together. It's very visual, knowing which things are going to run inside of whatever loop. So if you're like me and do an unnecessary nested loop, you'll know which things are running when.
I wonder where the button is.
That's weird. It's like
I can't see a button. Does anybody see a button?
the first time I played this, it took me about a minute to find it. I'm like running around like up above. I'm like, they're probably gonna make me backtrack. It's gonna be a thing, right? Something that I really like about this too is that depending on where you're at, you're typically wherever the button is. If you're looking at it, you typically see some kind of wherever that next thing that you're supposed to do is, like right there. Like also another really nice piece of game design. You're basically telling the player what to do and where to go. So that's fun. So I noticed that we don't have actual physical tools on here. We just have a texture. It's kind of interesting. And also this thing had a long neck before I actually was putting the neck pieces in there. So
that is a great catch that we didn't consider.
Oh, got a bug.
Leave it to the artist. Leave it to the artist to find it. All right, so I'm gonna go check down here. So we found another secret room. Let's see who our options are this time. Oh, Pixie and Gremlin this time around.
It's okay. Good art like that is immune to distortions in time.
Right.
That's right.
There you go. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and say end mission here. So Gremlin and Pixie.
I think you might be off the hook because I got Gremlin and Banshee.
Oh, buddy, there we go.
So
I'm gonna go with Pixel. I actually chose Banshee last time, so spoiler alert, there are different endings to this too, depending on how you do this, which is kind of cool. So understood. We'll keep a close watch on that time agent. There we go.
All right. And so we got one more to do.
All right. You can pick this one. I did the last one.
Okay. How about our guests? Do you guys have one that's a favorite that we should go do?
Oh, Brian.
Let's see.
I quite like
we did a movement and a block place one. Maybe the bear is a little interesting, and different from what we've done before.
Great Wall's pretty fun.
Which one?
Great Wall's pretty fun.
Great Wall. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. What do we pick? The bear or the wall?
Coin flip.
What'd you say?
Coin flip.
Coin flip. You have a coin?
Oh my gosh. I had okay, I've got a lens cover. Canon is wall, other side is bear. Okay, we're doing the wall.
Doing the wall?
All right.
Yeah.
Excellent.
The Great Wall.
Great Wall.
So something
I don't know. It doesn't look so great.
Something that's kind of fun too is this little marker up here moves depending on which one you hit.
Yeah, I like that.
I know coding excellent. Oh, I can't actually choose another one. So once you choose it, it's chosen.
No, you can change it after you've chosen it. You should be able to. You can't choose the same one twice.
Oh yeah, this is not the not so great wall right now.
Here we go. Okay, let's do it. I must have accidentally hit the wrong one. Yeah, there it goes. Then it slides over.
It's just the good wall.
Good.
Right now.
I mean, the interesting wall, we'll call it. The pandas are back again. They keep eating our bamboo platform, which we needed to reach the height demanded by the emperor. What are we going to do? Okay. Pesky pandas. Let's help them out by engineering. Let's help this engineer by planting bamboo to lead pandas away from the platform. Ooh, lure them away. Use your talk device to call the agent. Okay. Phew. I didn't waste any time. You see me? It's a poof up there.
I'm gonna drop in the answer to my question.
Okay.
Y'all failed. Nobody answered.
This
Time's
is
up.
lucky. Oh yeah, was it? Elmer S. Riggs. Whew. I thought for sure it was Indiana Jones. It was Nicolas Cage. That's my final answer. This is lucky. Look at all the dirt. Using code, plant bamboo shoots in the dirt to lure the pandas away. Okay. Where's the dirt? I see my robot here. Okay, is this a all the dirt? We have to fill up all the dirt.
Uh-huh.
Nice. You don't know. All right, we're going to assume
Maybe
so.
maybe our coding instructions will give us insight.
I mean, I'm
It might
using
be some of
my I'm using my 2020 hour of code farming
FiveCraft.
schema because it only made you do one of the plots and it finished the other. Like it did the other one automatically. I think. I was all gung-ho about just covering them all. All right, so we are going to do that visual thing like I was talking about before where you want to spot like how many blocks. And you know what we can do? Kind of like Gatlin was pointing out, you could use our other, since dirt is all kind of continuous, we can use these blocks as our grid. So we have, let's count how many total. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, right?
Yep.
Okay, 11, and then that's by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 11 by 6. 11 by 6 is 66. How mean is that? Where you could have a stack of 64, but I guess the agent has lots of slots. Yeah, I right-clicked on it to see all the slots. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and code. All right, we have agent give bamboo. Can we give 66? That'll work, right? So I'm going to say
I
agent.
believe at the top it's probably a little more specified about how
Okay.
many you have to place.
Yeah, it's in there.
For
Okay.
completion.
Read RT. Yeah.
Something
The
about reading
pandas
the
keep eating
instruction.
the bamboo. I know. I'm the typical person. I've accepted every license agreement put in front of me. The panda's eating the bamboo scaffolding. Stop eating engineer. Left the panda's away. Use the give and position. This is 3
It
parameters.
actually doesn't
Oh,
specify.
interesting. I think it does in activity down there though.
Oh, there it is. Yeah. Okay.
Place row 5
It's gotta be
bamboo.
somewhere.
To lure. So you just have to do 5?
Just 5. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is why it's important to look at all the instructions and documentation.
Oh my gosh, it's so true.
Otherwise, you could end up doing a much harder problem than you need to.
In college, we were at a computer science competition, programming competition, and there was like a little detail in the instructions of which the way you turn it in that we missed, and ended up redoing the thing multiple times before we realized it wasn't the code; it was the way we were turning it in that was the problem. With the details.
Yep.
Some people are supposed to learn from mistakes like that. Me, I don't know. Okay. So 5, we got our loop 5, and what we're going to agent place. Shane's going to be happy that I'm typing. I'm earning it. I'm earning it. Place it down. This is cool because this is a crop, so we're not. There's already a block below me, so I probably wouldn't be able to place a stone block there. But since this is a crop, it's being placed into the block below me, is what I'm assuming here. Move.
It's okay. There's no shame in copy pasting. I do it all the time.
So I hit tab, kind of like Carsman was saying. I hit tab for the autocomplete. It just put a tab in there, which is annoying. So right arrow might be a good one, maybe down arrow. Just to answer our earlier question. Okay, so I'm giving the agent bamboo 5 times, place it down, and move forward. Does that look good? Let's see what happens. That's the thing I love about computers too. Oh, look at me. I'm efficient. I'm very efficient. Nice. The pandas are leaving. Oh, happy days. Now we can complete this wall. That's funny. So they didn't get the wall done because the pandas were eating the whole thing.
Okay, so here's I got a question for our audience because everybody's doing so well with this so far.
Yes.
So how long is the Great Wall of China? And it has to be in metric. You have to do it in
got to
metric.
be at least 400 meters.
I don't want miles. I don't care about miles.
At
That
least
does no
3
good.
kilometers. That is a
I'm
lot.
gonna know right off the top of my head.
You should mute yourself while you're thinking off the top of your head. About time someone jumping in there get those answers.
Oh wow! I just remembered. It's 13,171 miles.
I don't
Oh!
want miles.
I don't know
I
how I
don't
just
want
remembered
miles.
that.
Miles don't do me any good.
Yeah.
Miles are
He's a
good.
kilometers
he said
kinda
metric.
guy.
Oh no. Oh, no. Oh, okay. Here, I can do that conversion.
They don't do miles in China, as far as I know. Maybe I'm crazy. All right, so I'm going to make my robot dance because I've got the time and the effort and the energy. I'm totally going to do it, right? So I'm going to do a loop with this one, right? So I'm going to repeat it 5 times. So I'm going to make my robot go up 2 because I don't have to worry about gravity. This is great. Right? I'm going to go forward 1, come back down. I'm going to place 1 right behind myself. I'm just going to do this 5 times. So this is going to be super silly to watch. So here we go.
Oh, yeah, leapfrogging.
Oh, gorgeous.
Nice. Creative. So creative. There goes the panda. Mission accomplished.
Yeah.
Okay, back. So do we
Now
find
that
a...
wall's looking pretty great.
Hey-o. Great job. Great job.
Where's that button? Where's that button?
Yeah, where is this one, actually? I don't...
So
I think it's over here. I'm not sure.
I feel like...
Yes, it is. Okay, cool. Again, hey, look, this is where I first noticed it. I was like, these aren't 3D. Yes.
Nice.
All right, so we'll go over here. Here is our secret room. Oh, see? There you are. There you are, you rascal. You rascal.
I've been doing a little time
You
traveling
knew it was
these
gonna be a
days.
thing.
Oh, I got Gremlin and Pixie. I hate to discover one of my own causing this kind of trouble.
It could be a ruckus. Causing a ruckus, the rascal.
Uh-huh. Well,
Ace got it. He knew exactly.
yeah,
what it
he
was.
do it off the top of his head. He knows everything. Fantastic work. You've repaired the timeline. Come on now.
All right, so I chose Banshee, and then I chose Pixie. So I'm going to choose Rascal this time. Here we go. You ready?
Whatever. Wasn't me.
Oh no, it appears the timeline is unstable and is causing issues in the control center. Well,
no.
Quickly meet me in the center of the room. I'm staying in the time machine. I don't know what you're talking about, lady.
Yeah. You need that bolt of lightning.
Well, you have to save the timeline.
No.
Come on, do it for the rest of us.
No.
All right, I'm going to stop sharing your screen then. I'm taking my ball. Okay, who are you going to accuse? Accuse, what's the proper word? We're gonna catch the time
okay, so
traveler.
I gotta put mine back. Let's put Yeti back.
Oh, okay. I'll put mine back too.
Except for you, Pixie. You stay right there.
Use talk to return.
Ha ha ha. Yes, it was me. But I did have some help. Was it you, Rascal? Were you a help out there? With our powers combined, that's beautiful. I appreciate that right there. We will be unstoppable. It's a monologue.
Whoa,
oh, it was all of them.
No way.
Get out of here.
They're getting away. Get up.
Oh.
What? Are you kidding me?
Rank achieved. Time cadet.
So if you play this multiple times, do you rank up more?
I'm not going to say. You
That's
have
a secret only we don't know.
Haven't you been doing your homework?
Yeah, of course. I love homework. Time culprit was the gremlin for me. You figured it out. I'm the culprit. But you're too late. You might have stopped me this time, but I'll be back. Oh, there it goes. Break it free. Get over here. Get over here.
There are actually 4 endings to this. All right. Okay, cool.
Whoa. Yeah, I'm not sure the culprit is gone, but we'll find them. It's just a matter of time. Rank achieved. That is super cool.
Time detective. Very nice. Bravo.
Wow. Good job. This is an awesome activity. Great project. Good job, guys.
Yeah, this is super cool. I really enjoyed it. First time I played through it, it was like, okay, you're done. Then you can replay. I was like, I'm going to play this over and over and see if I get different endings. And sure enough, there are, which is fantastic. And yeah, this is like, bravo. Like there's a lot of things about this that I just really, really enjoy. I think the only thing that I really wish would have been in there was just one little hole so we could have watched Clever Like jump over the edge.
Next time.
Oh, okay. Well,
Next
we'll make
time.
sure to implement that next time.
That's our game plan for our group is called Next Time, because that's when we're going to win.
This is next time.
Next time. We'll get you
Oh,
next time, kids.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
Cool. Thanks everybody for joining. Special thanks to Jerry and Shane, Cold Fusion, for being here and creating such a great project. Thanks, guys.
Round of applause.
Yeah. And tomorrow night we're going to be streaming a Minecraft project that we're working on. It's a solar vehicle competition. So you guys feel free to jump in, and spend some time with us if you got any. But this is kind of like a work in progress type of project. So you'll see kind of some messy things that will be polished up by the time the project's done.
Solar vehicles, you say?
Yeah. So it's for the Junior Solar Sprint, and students are going to be able to learn about building solar vehicles kind of in a Minecraft-y sort of a way. So you can see kind of like our approach on trying to accomplish that. And audience could still contribute some feedback too. We got some things, like I said, still in the works. So I figured it would be cool to share so people would see some of the behind the scenes on stuff like this. And you guys shared a lot of great insight as to what you're doing too. So hopefully we've inspired the future. So cool. Well, we'll see you guys. Anybody that wants to join, we'll see you tomorrow. Of course, reach us on socials, and then Rewrite Media. What's the best way for people to kind of track you guys down? A Pathway. I clicked on the website.
Yeah.
It took me to Pathway Studios.
Yeah, there's
website.
Let's see. There is a rewrite site. It's
We
fairly
do have a link in the chat. We just posted a link in chat that has.
Rewrite.media is the site.
Rewrite Media, yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So awesome. Great work, and great. Like the company is a great contributor to this community. So thank you to everyone on your team as well for what you guys do for the product and the community.
We'll pass it on.
Yeah. Cool. Hopefully we'll get to see you sometime in real life again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Cool. Thanks everybody. Have a great night. Bye.
Bye, all.